But the point is, the contract for this realm is up. It ended in 2010 or around there. This whole civilization has been a build-up into getting people to accept their own demise at this point here and now, because now is the time where all the humans have to do is wake up and say, stop doing this, give us back that, these are no longer applicable, you can't do that, and it's over. It's end. That's it. But imagine then what you would have to do tonight to get people to do that. You would have to have an army come down and force everyone to be like, okay, I don't accept ritualistic sacrifice, I don't accept war, I don't accept killing kids. If you just went out into the street and was like, what are your takes on this? Eventually people will kick you out, because it's just crazy to ask that, because for some reason that's right. Meanwhile, war is okay, poisoning people, destroying the environment, so on and so forth. But being serious about it and being like, hey, no, that's not cool, don't do that, that's crazy. So we're at a point where there's like a standoff. It's a delay. People are in a trance. They're unaware. But it ultimately comes down to knowing the difference between right and wrong. That's it. Good and evil. Begin to organize the liberation and secure your safe return back to the most high realm. That's it. But the point of this is that since those contracts ended, the original humans, a lot of times there's references to Moors and the original humans from Kemet who basically were unadulterated and don't have the implants that this whole system is based upon. And all religions are based upon their knowledge. All mystery schools are based upon their knowledge. All architecture and the original, like the propagation of civilization and civilized ethics and basically actual rule upon Earth was not rule, as leadership. That came from them, from the original civilization who had advanced technology of the most high form that we've ever seen, and since then everything was stolen from them. But that's what it is, and people really don't get it, and they don't realize everyone with the soul you remember because you've been here. You were here when there was an overt war as they invaded and took everything over. That's why everyone that's refusing to assist is choosing to go with the destruction of humanity. There is no lukewarm, no in-between, there's no leeway for just give me like 5 minutes, I want to watch the TV show, then I'll get back to you. Everyone who sees this and just doesn't care, pretends it's a joke or whatever it is, they know what it is, and they're choosing to go into the destruction of humanity, which all it does is lead them into the pit of darkness. All of this was prophesied before. It's just, it happened over and over again, and they kept resetting time, and it's apparently can't reset anymore, so whatever happens here is final. I don't care about any of I'm not here for blame, I'm not here for aggression, I'm not here for revenge. This is a liberation of humanity. There's a subhuman created race out of technology and the use of animal hybrid DNA. They don't have the capacity for empathy because empathy is of the soul. The soul is of refined electromagnetic, scalar, and electrogravitic fields that are emitted by the DNA through a complex frequency that is complex enough to contain all the information of the universe within a single person's emanation field. You can't make that with a machine, so they can't feel feeling or love or any of those things. They can't feel empathy. Therefore, they don't know the reason, the difference between right or wrong. Because of that, they're out of jurisdiction. It makes the whole world go and turn into a battlefield. And the operations, there are secret operations that are basically where all the children are going. It's to feed the entities so that they don't wage open war upon the human population. I just want to make this one quick. It's some of the energy that is out there right now. I've been looking around. I've been seeing other people basically talk about similar things and go through similar stuff. This is an interesting time, 2017. I wrote about that. I don't think I mentioned that in the previous videos. I've been like making videos and not putting them out. But where there was the looking glass, and the project was to be disabled for the past couple of years because it was foreseen. Looking glass holds a quantum tunnel to the past and the future to open communication between them, and that because of the intense energies of some type of cosmic shift from the sun or the galactic center, whether you look at it as a programmable computer system or holographic system or containment or whatever you're looking at it as, and that it would have disrupted the field to the point of causing a potential quantum collapse, which is basically unzipping the minds of people from the fabric of space itself. which is a bad example or explanation, but that's what it was. The system was shut down, but the higher ups that shut it down, they can't be they can't hold favoritism to one or the other race, because they wouldn't be allowed to do what they're doing. So they can't then stop them from starting it back up, even if it's going to subjugate humanity. So the plan for the control system is to begin the viewing project again at the end of 2017, and if that occurs, it'll cause detrimental results for humans, for humanity, possibly until the literal subjugation of every last neuron of the system. Now imagine that, we're going to fight, we're going to rebel. Okay, well, what if your neurons are being guarded by electromagnetic frequencies so that you can't think thoughts that aren't, run through an algorithm and okayed? And that's easy to do. But the idea is if everyone sits there and says, the majority, we don't want that, they no longer have the right to do it. That's why it's kind of getting frustrating, because all people have to do, they took the lid off, the door's open, goldfish with the divider in the middle, and nobody's doing anything. Nobody even knows that this is the first time in literally 6,000 years, and it's actually more than that, but that's written history, it's easy to understand, that we've had this opportunity. No one even knows. So try to do what you can. Well, don't try, actually do it. But what I'm also trying to say is that we're probably going to see something interesting here sooner or later. I'm not going to stop. I can't. It's in my blood to cause a ruckus when I see this happening, and this is what's happening. People are being subjugated. There are vampiric entities that need to basically sustain themselves off of the suffering of others. They're sick. They have a sickness, a parasitic AI sickness. It's an illness. And they're attempting to use the human species to propagate their frequency, which is literally how they replicate. They replicate through a nest of frequencies within the human system, the energy system that goes into the brain, and it orients memories and desires and motivations towards depravity. It replicates themselves through that. The evil eye is literally that in secret society Masonic lore from the beginning of time. That they could spread their hatred, their energy through vision, and actually replicate through the eye. And there's other aspects of that with chipping and droning, but there's a lot of confusion, because they might be making portions of each of the stories up that, as far as we see them, and mixing technology with biology and creating what people believe are going to be thrust on the population as aliens, when it's literally a form of like a suit that is created to cover up what's really happening, which is an entirely technological process. But it's the core is technology, but it uses biology because it can create DNA. It can create DNA and map out systems, but it can't create evolved life. It can only literally, and spiritually evolved, that means they're going to have awareness. It can only create subhuman, degraded, animalistic, basically demonic-looking, mutated forms. But these forms are smart enough to hold basic desires and intelligence. They basically like a computational system, and it works like ants or something. That they have a hive mind, and they all go out at once, the billion of them, and they work to bring about a specific goal. Even if you grab one of them and ask him its favorite ideas, and it has no clue what you're talking about, but it just wants to eat, and it wants to fulfill more of the goal and communicate with others and build a network database, basically. They have a hive mind. They don't have individual intelligence.